Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to the end of March, the beginning of April. Welcome to the weekend, TGIF. This is going to be an amazing step into April because we have quite a bit happening next week. For the majority of the week, we are going to be embracing the full pink moon energy. But what's more, we also have the Easter weekend. Now, I know a lot of my friends have a lot of challenges with some of the more Christian Catholic aspects. It's going to be important for you to be focused in on what's going to be helpful, what's going to fill you. So look at this weekend as an opportunity to embrace a bunny, some yummy candy or chocolate, some life-giving and nurturing aspects. And if all you're excited about is the fact you get a long weekend, fantastic. Rejuvenate you. Empower you. So this is going to be an interesting step into spring. And as we're stepping into a new month, I always encourage people to look at reflection and intention. Reflect back into the past month. What did you achieve? What do you want to achieve in the next, in this upcoming month? We have lots of opportunity to explore. If you want some added help with that, in my Ko-fi page, I do have a PDF workbook on intention and reflection. Super helpful to help you see where you're at, checking in, setting some intentions, looking at what you want to achieve in the month ahead. Okay, so let's get into this week. For this reading, I thought, what better way to explore a holiday that is all around bunnies and chocolate and jelly beans than the Tarot of the Divine, which is based on mythology, folklore and fairy tales. And then I've paired it with the Enchanted Map Oracle, which is upside down. As anyone knows, the cards are all over the place on whether they're right side up or upside down. So let's look at this week. Let's look at the week of April 2nd through the 8th. What can my friends expect from this week? Like I said, the full pink moon is very much part of this week, a good chunk of it. I will be doing a reading for the full pink moon for sure, and it will come out on Monday. So you have that reading as well on top of this to explore this week ahead. All right. The first card, the World. Of course, we have the 21st card in the Major Arcana. We talk about endings and beginnings. So kind of that next chapter. This is bigger perspective pieces as it is the Major Arcana. We've got that major archetype. And I just said that reflection is going to be important. We need that reflection. What have we achieved? Not reflection where you're like, what did I achieve? I didn't do it, rah, rah, rah. No. This is more about what did I achieve? What unexpected things occurred that I had to overcome? How did I achieve that? And what's more, turning it around. So this is what I've done. What do I want to continue working on? What's going to support me even more? Additionally, this week, like I said, if all you're looking for is that you're going to have Friday off, fantastic. Use that to rejuvenate. Because yes, the world is about that reflection. Yay, look what we've achieved. Yay, yay, yay. Taking a pause before we get excited and anticipate that next step forward. So this week, it's going to kind of be the whole week where you're going to reflection, some time, and some yay time. The Chariot. 7th card in the Major Arcana, and this one is reversed. Okay, so the Chariot talks about that movement forward. There's a lot of resistance and fear to moving forward because that brings in the dreaded word called change. We don't like it as a species. That's also why we can resist the world. is that we're afraid of that change. What will that be? There's a lot of unknowns. We're also feeling pretty burnt out and worn out from, well, the last couple of months, the last couple of years. So there's not that willpower and drive. We feel lackluster about it. So know that that kind of rejuvenation piece is going to be a priority for you this week, so that we can rejuvenate the charioteer. We can rejuvenate that willpower and drive and be able to really embrace the world ahead. The 10 of Swords. Well, that heaviness, that ugh. And this is not the first time we've seen this card recently. We've been seeing it a bit more. This again talks about endings and beginnings, as it's a 10. The world is about endings and beginnings. Not about the ending of the world, but it talks about those next pieces, those next chapters. So if this is the next chapter, this can be the next paragraph or the next topic. Okay? So what we need to do is really rejuvenate us, because this talks about that heaviness that we're feeling. Like I've said in past readings, when we have the 10 of Swords, there's usually a sun in the background, and it's rising. It talks about the new day, embracing that new day. We're feeling really heavy and overwhelmed to embrace that new day. So that pause is really going to help us to recoup some of that energy, to replace it, and feel stronger and able to get up and embrace that next day. We're not going to really address a lot of the heartache and pain around this. It's about rejuvenating you so you feel strong and able to, up we go, here we go. It's a new day, a new opportunity. And there's lots of opportunity coming forward, because we do have the charioteer and the world side by side. We just need them working better together. Because right now the charioteer is like, I need a break. So give yourself that break. Give yourself some nurturing. Give yourself some time of love and compassion to rejuvenate. All right, let's look at the beginning of the week. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? And Monday, we're going to be stepping into the full pink moon. I would do as much rejuvenation now, because I don't know what the full pink moon's going to ask of you or suggest for you. So making sure that we take that time now. And you can start that rejuvenation now. There's nothing stopping you from recharging your batteries a bit. And recharging your batteries can be that reflection, guys. Because you can see what you've overcome. What challenges you managed to deal with. What unexpected you managed to deal with. And what things you wanted to deal with that you did get to. So, the King of Wands. And it talks about that fulfillment, that inner flame. Very much connected to the Chariot. Like I said, we want to start to work with this right away, because we are feeling so and blah and yuck. So making sure that we start to rejuvenate that, so we can start to take control back of self. Because right now we don't feel like we have that control. We don't feel like we have that power. The King of Swords. So, double brothers. So, King of Swords, using our head. And that's going to be a big piece as we go throughout this week. Use our head to rejuvenate that King of Wands. It almost feels like the King of Swords, and especially as he's flying here, and it feels like his brother's like crashing, that the King of Swords stepped in and goes, nope, not my watch. I'm going to protect my brother. I will stand in his place until he gets on his feet. And that's what we need to do. We need to use our head. What's going to help right now? Rejuvenating you, empowering you so you can get up and embrace that new day, that new dawn. So using our head. These boys, these kings, they're kings. They have the most full power, full developed personality, that they're the end all be all of the suit. We're looking at that passion, that inner flame, and knowledge. So how are we going to rejuvenate that inner flame for you? It's going to be different. You need to listen to that thinking center, that third eye thinking center. What's going to be meaningful for you? Start now. That reflection, like I said, super important. Now, double kings, 14th card in the minor arcana. When you have that multiple 14, the angels are telling you to be careful of the energies that you're putting out, as they will come back in. If you are putting a very defeated, deflated, chaotic, painful energy out, that's what you're going to get back in. You take that pause and rejuvenate, and you start to put that excitement and that enthusiasm and that passion forward. Hey, that's going to be helpful. So be mindful of that. All right, let's go into the middle of the week. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? And know here, the full pink moon is very much large and in charge and will be supporting or guiding you. And that card is important because it was left. I don't know why it was left. So sometimes that happens where we pick up a deck and one card is there. I always encourage people to pick that card up. Why was it left? Because that doesn't happen very often. So the card that didn't go but should have gone, very much important. The Nine of Wands. Again, it talks about that feeling disempowered. And this is the Baba Yaga story, where she had the house on the chicken legs. It's a fantastic folklore, which I'm not going to try and talk about here because I won't do it any justice. But the Nine of Wands talks about that feeling defeated and blah, because it has that guy with the bandage on his head. He's leaning desperately on the one wand. He doesn't want to give up, but he feels so just done. Here we're feeling, well, right up below, right? We don't know how much more we can give. So that reflection, that rejuvenation, what's going to help you needs to be incorporated very much in, so that you're using that 9. The Nine of Wands can also talk about positive supports that you've put into place that can keep you up and supported. You can also talk about feeling penned in and how you are kind of backed into a wall. And we want to be very mindful of how that 9 is coming across. But given the fact we've got the Ten of Swords and the Chariot reversed, it does talk about that exhaustion, that feeling overwhelmed and defeated. So it's going to come big time in. The 10 of Coins or the 10 of Pentacles. And it's kind of like, okay, here's your problem, here's your result, here's what's going to help. The positive family friend center is going to help bring you out of that funk. Now, and I say positive, I fully am aware that not everybody has a positive family of origin. That's okay. We start to put in supports. We have surrogate parents. We have, it's like your brother from another mother. We start to find our soul family in the community and bring them to us. Those are the people we want. We want to ground ourselves in their love and their stability to help us really get over that blah, that defeated, that low energy. Whereas our knowledge is going to help us empower us. Our family is going to help get us on our feet. Now we do have multiple 10s. 10 of Swords, 10 of Coins or Pentacles. Multiple 10, the angels are telling you that this is part of our soul's journey. This is an important journey. Do not give up. All right, let's go on to the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? And of course, Many of us will be excited about having Friday off, the long weekend, and possibly even you could start in the middle of the week to look at that connection to family, or whatever that positive support looks like for you. That's going to be an important role as well. Death, the 13th card in the Major Arcana, reversed. So death, of course, does not talk about death. It talks about that resistance, or that transition, that change, what we need to release. Of course, that's a problem. We don't want to, because again, I said change is hard. We fear it, just as we fear death, that transition. So at the end of the week, we're going to have a lot of resistance to things. Fear is going to be a problem. It's going to be very, well, disempowering to the world. It's going to aggravate in the 10 of Swords and, well, kind of derail the Chariot altogether. So that fear, that resistance is going to be a huge problem. The Sun's got you covered. The 19th card in the Major Arcana. And I'm loving how this really did turn out to be a pattern. Problem, solution. Problem, solution. Problem, solution. Problem, problem-ish, solution. Right? So, the Sun. There is going to be joy and happiness. It can and will burn out that fear, especially if you use your head and intentionally draw it in. Bring it forward. If we're feeling that fear, my suggestion, go to any water, especially if we don't have time to take care of self, and run your hands underwater and feel that prickle and pain just wash away. Releasing that fear. If you have some time, I do have meditations that will support you in releasing that fear, that pain. Infusing you with the unconditional love of the universe, that Sun. It's going to be up to you to intentionally draw in these pieces, intentionally using our head, which could and does mean taking deep breaths, because when we are in like a free-for-all, when we're spiraling downwards, we don't breathe. We do that shallow pant. When we're feeling overwhelmed and just burnt out, we don't ask for help. But again, intention. And that's part of how we're going to need to really empower the Chariot, by taking care of self, being aware of where we're functioning from, so we can use that willpower and determination. This is not going to be a fast and furious piece, guys. The world talks about change, but at the same time, I said this is going to take all week to build up to that shift. So you're going to need to really be mindful of where your energies are at, like I said, what you're putting out there, and what's going to help you. Because we can intentionally focus in on the positive. We can intentionally draw down that unconditional love. And if we're struggling with finding that unconditional love and joy, I have a number of Archangel meditations where that's exactly what we do. We just look at channeling that amazing unconditional love of the universe and angelic energy. Okay, what will support my friends in making some intentional choices for their greatest good? And the pattern at the bottom, guys, which is very clear, problem, solution. We have double ace, or double doubles, double twos. Pairs all along the side, and now we've got two here. In angel messages, when you have that multiple two, the angels are telling you to be mindful of that balance. Be present for you. Ha! There we go. Listening. Know that you have supports. Yes, on the physical, and they may be harder to find sometimes, but yes, you can ask for the help you need. But know that the high vibrational beings are always listening. We may not be able to clearly hear them, but as we can clearly hear our ego, they can clearly hear us. Ask for the help. Know you have to ask for the help for them to step in. On rare occasions, they can step in if your life is in jeopardy. However, many times during our planning of our life, we have multiple avenues of exit. If it is not, we can be at a life-threatening situation that is one of our exits, and they won't step in. So don't leave it up to them. But in a life-threatening situation, we're always like, oh my God, help me. And they're in there. Like, yeah. So know that we do need to ask for the help. Mountain. Know that many of us are feeling like we're stuck. There's this huge obstacle in our way. We can't see how there's going to be a new shift or a change. But no, we again don't have the big picture. It's like being at the base of this mountain and not seeing that there are avenues you can take that will help, because you can't see past where you're at. That you can go around it, that you can go over it, and it looks like you can go through it. So again, asking for the help, that guidance, being okay with not knowing everything, being okay with some of that uncertainty, which again, our ego brings in the fear, being all right with it, and keeping ourselves slowly moving forward, using our head, using our supports, and embracing that light, because that light will support us in finding a way. So this week does talk about that light. It comes in the form of unconditional love, that joy and happiness. It comes in this form of physical supports. It comes in the form of using your third eye thinking center. Lots of you-driven, which is always usually the case here, because no one can do this for you. This has to be a you piece, because if others do it for you, there is no connection. There's no, well, it's not your solution. It's theirs. And you need it for you. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that this helped you to see how to step into April and get the most of this first full week of April. Now, if you did like this reading, please give it a thumbs up, as it does help people find me on the sea of YouTube. And what's more, if you did like this reading, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that little red bell, as there is so much more content coming forward. You don't want to miss any of it. Additionally, like I said, I do have added layers of support on my Patreon and Ko-fi pages. I've provided links below so you can go check it out. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you enjoy this step into April and that you have a fantastic Easter weekend. Until tomorrow, my friends.